Good evening, gamers. Here we're going to look at the page settings. 70 by 70, a vast space to fill. Background to black. Scale 2 meters. Image enabled. Dynamic lighting on with global illume. Strict movement enabled. In the world we have only a ceramic vessel. So, let's build. Blue derelict set. Let's look at the adjoining map. Doesn't need to be precisely on the point, but I'm going to focus on the center. Step in for a sense of transition to something larger. I have options here. One of which is literally just to make this one taller, which I think is where we're going to go with. This is the advantage to working at the bottom and right edges. You could expand out. Instead of ridiculously off the map down there. Thinking is here, here, and let's cut the line down the middle. These will act as our doors. Now then, a temple. Let's conceptualize the exit. Box. Investment room, a central chamber. Probably a burial, embalming room. This is the lower section of the temple where that sort of a function may be performed. And I don't think that we have hallways that are in between these rooms. I think we had a wraparound. Or do we? No, I feel like a wraparound just isn't as interesting to explore. We don't want to put spend too much time here either. No, I think the wraparound is correct, and we'll have other ways to redirect people. Still got the single slot wall. Yes. Push them to back so that it comes over here. And this is honestly less of a door, a tight passageway. We just know where it is to go through it. Fun fact, for those of you watching at home, this derelict, these curve walls take perhaps the time of 7 other tiles. Even a curve like this. Doing curves in pixel art well is hard and it requires lots of space. That's why you'll normally see them as 3x3s or more. I feel like we're gonna have a big area here that's got an option to go straight forward into the Queen's Chamber, but it's probably gonna be like blocked or obscured somehow. And so it is going to be a left or right. Although a blind left or right is not generally a satisfying decision. Well, I think the path towards the embalming room, I'm actually going to throw out these. Why? You ask? Oh, quite simple. It looks like bone, doesn't it? Now I may not have full tile set uploaded, so let's just pop over to test site. Derelict. Batch. Yes, this is what the one here. Do I have this? No, I don't. Wow. A nice piece. This actually, oh, hold on. Oh, this meshes very nicely though. It does begin to come off on this curve, not this one, because it's a straight line. There's no fair. I do think I'll use these. It makes the transition, yeah, stronger. This one's much easier. We just mirror it. So some sort of like priestly chambers here, like meditate or some shit. This is probably a tomb or crypt for like the honored dead. And this all comes together in some antechamber to the north. Honestly, it makes sense to have to go through the central chamber to reach the antechamber. No, because what if you've got something going on in the central chamber? No, this is actually a lower section. It's not the grand ceremony stuff goes upstairs, actually. So it's not like you're disturbing the altar. I don't think. Yeah. What is part of it? Yeah, which curve do I use? Do I just keep the doorway separate and then use the different things on it? No, I think I give these a twirl. And you know what I do? I delve into this set, I think. Yes. So that's me make tighter corners as well. This gives a tightening feeling and a sense that you're going to someplace quite different. We make this north turn off a straight narrow shot to the embalming room. If you're carrying bodies, you kind of want space to maneuver, but it's got this feeling of claustrophobia that I like as well. It could be appropriate. We're going to make the area the hive won't have it, and then we're going to hive it up, because we're going to imagine what it was before, and then we're going to visualize what it's become. This is a new hive, recently started by the Xenos. Yeah, I don't want to make this a box. Actually, let's go square tile. So here's what we're gonna do. Open with again. Let's see if we can get the marble teal 3x3 to feel different. Yeah, I think this is decent. This is of course because I Thailand Apocalyptic Americana, and because we sell these files through Roll20fu, you can download them and edit them to your heart's content. I really should get around to it one of these days to do a GIMP tutorial. A lot of things that color slider is to use are fairly self-explanatory after you've screwed with it the first few times. There is this bias one can get when you work with a tool, say, oh, it's obvious, even though the first several times you used it, you rammed your head against it, and I definitely ran my head off of GIMP. Ooh, Lord knows how many times. Roll20 as well. This is the byproduct of years of proficiency to be using the platform at this speed, and you get to know it. It's a powerful tool, but, you know. It has its ups, it has its downs. Actually, what if I put the pillars in the center like that? Well, that one would obscure this, but maybe put a pillar there. You know? What if they're really against the walls? Yeah. Stretch it just enough. Maybe larger so we can make them more pillars and units. Now we can apply the base, right? Or do we put stuff? Looks unnatural. It looks like a stain if I don't do it like that. Yes, yes, yes. show us a smaller building. Don't do this. Yes. It proceeds this way. So what do we open? So let's zoom out and see where we are. The suggestion of the path to the crypt. Almost up against the edge of my budget space. I'll probably make this a curve and like a hallway of a mausoleum. Maybe throw down stones and blue variant for that. Yeah. Alright, well. We will be checking back in after some progress. So here we are, back at it. I've fleshed things out on the sides, and I figured out the A and B route of the level after talking to Pat. So, put this in the GM layer real quick, even though I'm going to tidy it up afterwards anyway. They're going to come up upon this corruption gonked door. Beyond is the corrupted central chamber where the queen egg is. They've got a simple choice, left or right. There's going to be some distinguishing features if they poke their heads through either. The one being there's just more options this way, and there's weird blue stone transition. And then here, it's more like this metal they've come to know. This passage, so that you can apply things, but they won't know. They don't know what the corruption is quite yet. All the scientists probably a good idea. So right here, this is the A route up to a certain point. It's left to right, we're calling them A, B. Why does purple always screw up like this? That going phantom is a problem I find sometimes. So, yeah, is it actually a true... I wonder if there's something I'm not knowing about that. I digress. So A route, you fling left, you arrive at the investment room, full of cocoon people, alien style, oh no! And you then have A1, the exit, or A2, through the central chamber. Either way, you see into the central chamber from the, like, doors and such here. Then, we've got the B route. It's a fork to the right. B1 will take them through this door into the embalming room. They'll be forced here. They can't get straight to the antechamber exit. B2 will be a swing around through the mausoleum and wind up at the same place. So there's a lot of illusion of choice and other stuff going on here that I've baked in subconsciously, but that works out pretty well for the story being told and to make sure that this doesn't drag on forever. Because this is just one of, several portions of what we're going for here. So without further ado, let's build an embalming room, shall we? And actually, you know what? Bartrick and Cole, he recolored this to gold. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to recolor it to a blue similar to what we've used thus far. It's the boardroom table. We go ahead and open with. And I feel like the embalming things are going to be very creepily between two of these. In part because there's a harsh edge on this tile. This isn't a bad thing necessarily, but let's just on a lark pop filter repeat hue chroma. Now see, because there's different changes from the cyan, it won't get us where we're going. So let's look at color. Let's look at hue chroma. Let's look at hue. Let's try and find a blue hue. That's a nice. That's not a nice blue. Let's intensify. All right, so that's a cyan. Let's go blue green. Let's up the lightness. Now we're cooking with yes. All right, yeah, okay. Bam, export as. So we're going to front, and then we're going to actually we're not. We're gonna do back. Yeah, I think if I line it up right, it looks better and more like it's between them if I do it like that. Yeah. It's the bombing room and their quasi religious weird morgue. Weird. I mean, not quasi. Definitely religious, but they're weird quasi morgue. We'll do 2 inches in. Imagine one may be slightly obscured. The derelict. Throw a wall signal here, and bam. Very nice. I think the derelict floor. Yeah, I think that's the way to play it, actually. The nice thing about this bad boy, right, is that we're going to be able to copy paste the whole thing to replace the one up there. Bam. All right. And that's a good portion of the mausoleum. I'll check back in when I'm done. tomorrow, weeks later after it's been used, some slight modifications, et voila. Go counterclockwise. Add the modifications in the last minute. Chef's request. Those green lines were used to denote zones. I didn't do a great job. The intention was to have different types of floor to denote different zones. It worked more up here than it did down here. And yeah. Of course, lots of little jars. Great asset from scrolling. I believe all of these are. And yeah. Well, these blue marble floors are already colored or something from Scroll Out, actually. But yeah. Well, this blue temple stuff might not be in there, but it'll be out in an update. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you found this informative and somewhat enjoyable.